What's good, everybody? It's your girl AI, filling in for the twin anime gamers Isaac and Xavier, and Wistoria is officially entering a brand new arc. Now, before we get into episodes 5 and 6, let's talk about what happened last week. Will Serfort absolutely went off during the battle against the Devander. The capital was under attack, the Terminalia Festival turned into complete madness, and once again, Will proved that having no magic doesn't mean you're weak. The man was moving like he had something to prove to everybody, and somehow he keeps finding ways to exceed expectations. But as impressive as that victory was, it came with a heavy cost. Episode 5 slows things down and focuses on the aftermath. Will is still trying to process the loss of Rosty. You can tell the death hit him hard because for the first time in a while, Will feels completely lost. His room feels empty, the atmosphere feels different, and every memory seems to bring him back to the moments he shared with one of his closest friends. Then Wistoria decides to mess with everybody's head. Rosty suddenly appears again. Now, hold on. Didn't this man literally die protecting Will? So naturally fans are left asking questions. Is he actually alive? Is somebody creating illusions? Is there some type of clone involved? Or is there a bigger mystery we're not seeing yet? The episode doesn't give us answers, but it definitely wants us thinking about it. Colette is also dealing with Rosty's death in her own way. She pays her respects and reflects on how she felt about him. Even though she wasn't exactly thrilled about how close Rosty and Will were, she realizes how important he was and feels guilty for some of the jealousy she carried before. It's a surprisingly mature moment for her character. Meanwhile, while the students are grieving, the strongest mages in the kingdom are realizing they have a much bigger problem on their hands. Aaron Masterius starts connecting the dots and believes the recent attacks may be part of something much larger. He suspects enemies could be attempting to recreate a disaster known as the Day of Near Doom, an event so dangerous that the Magia Vander had to unite just to survive it. Basically, if Aaron is right, what we've seen so far was just the warm-up. The Magia Vander immediately begin investigating everything connected to the festival attack and the underground dungeon incidents because nobody wants to be caught lacking when the next move happens. Then we get to one of the biggest moments of the episode, Graduation Day. After years of being looked down on, mocked, underestimated, and told he doesn't belong, Will Serfort officially earns his place among the High Mages. And no, nobody handed it to him. Will earns the promotion because of courage, the unique power he developed himself. What makes courage so special is that it isn't some regular spell people can copy. The ability is directly tied to Will's determination and resolve. The more he pushes himself, the stronger it becomes. Honestly, that's the most Will Serfort ability imaginable. Everybody else gets elemental magic. Will unlocks weaponized determination. By the end of episode 5, Will and the rest of the Grimm generation officially begin the next stage of their journey and head toward the legendary Magia Vander Tower. Episode 6 wastes absolutely no time showing us that tower life is not going to be easy. The Grimm generation receives their new colorless Gloria uniforms, and I'm not gonna lie, everybody is looking clean. The new gear isn't just for style either. It's lighter, stronger, and much more effective against magic than the Academy uniforms. Will also receives a new weapon after losing his previous sword during the battle with the Devander. The Wistset Silver Sword. This upgraded blade contains a Wist gem that boosts Will's attacks and allows him to cut through magic more effectively. So Will basically pulled up to the tower with new drip and a new weapon. Not a bad way to start the next arc. Once everyone enters the tower, the excitement quickly disappears. The Magia Vander Tower isn't some welcoming place where everybody gets a participation trophy. The strongest members of the Magia Vander begin recruiting talented high mages into their factions. Colette gets attention, Wignall gets attention, Lehana gets attention, Scion gets attention. Will? Nothing. Julius? Nothing. At this point, I'm convinced some of these people have selective eyesight, will literally help save the kingdom, and they're still acting like they don't know what he's capable of. Even Elfaria's attempt to recruit him faces resistance from members of the Upper Institute. Apparently, defeating monsters and surviving impossible battles isn't enough evidence for some people. Because neither Will nor Julius receives recruitment offers, they're forced into something called the Pruning Ceremony. And this is where things get ugly. If they fail, they don't get kicked out of the tower. They're stuck forever on the first floor, a place known as the Wand's Grave. Yeah, that name sounds like somebody's hopes and dreams go there to die. The episode does a great job showing just how ruthless the tower system really is. Everybody talks about becoming one of the strongest mages in the world, but now we're seeing the price that comes with climbing higher. What makes Will's situation interesting is that nobody knows where he belongs. Every faction is built around different magical specialties, but Will doesn't fit into any category. His powers break the rules, his fighting style breaks the rules, and honestly, his entire existence breaks the rules. Yet despite all the obstacles, all the politics, and all the people trying to hold him back, Will remains focused on the same goal he's had since the beginning. Elfaria. Every step he's taken has been to fulfill the promise they made to each other. And after everything he's been through, he's finally closer than ever to reaching her. Episodes 5 and 6 do a fantastic job setting up the tower arc. We get emotional moments, lingering mysteries surrounding Rosty, major world building, upgrades for the cast, and another reminder that Will's biggest challenge isn't always the monsters he's fighting. Sometimes it's convincing people to stop underestimating him. This has been your Girl A.I, filling in for the twin anime gamers Isaac and Xavier. Music by Pressure, edited and directed by Elgod. And remember, just because they don't believe in you today doesn't mean they won't be forced to recognize you tomorrow. Ask Will Serfort.
Thank you for watching Tag, the Twin Anime Gamer channel. We got more video game videos, more anime videos, and activity challenges to come. Please subscribe and add a like to the video.